You Africans, please listen to me as Africans. And you non-Africans, listen to me with open mind.
Hey. Welcome to the Smiling Sufferer podcast. On the mic, you got the truth seeker, the young wolf, the courageous brother, courageous himself, Mr. Corey. And on my right, I have Miss Yeti, aka Lady Laurel. And I have the black G-Wagon. What was it called?
That's actually not a bad name, man.
the black James Bond.
Black
James Bond. What's good, people? Yo, we missed a week, man. I actually missed being here. Well, so what's been up with y'all, man?
Nothing, working. Same old.
So what do you guys think about that track?
I love it. The video, oh no, that's not the same one. Never mind.
No, I don't think there's no
video.
There's like a clip on IG. That was by Kizz Daniel, by the way. He has this thing he called the Fuck You Challenge. It's on IG, and it's where there's a beat out there that was done by Young John, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Wale.
I haven't looked into it.
Yeah, it was Young John. It was.
What are you watching? There's a game today.
Yeah, Manchester. I think getting the ass kicked. So what are the scores?
1-0. Go on.
Who scored?
Rashford. Go on.
The Fuck You Challenge, and basically they hop on this beat that was made by Young John.
Look it up. You have your laptop.
I think it's a dope beat. I think it's a dope track. But you had all these other artists that hopped on it, right? And there was this one particular artist that hopped on it that was throwing some shots. Tiwa Savage. Let me see if I can find it. It was right here.
But,
okay, yeah, I found it.
So the lyrics aren't the same. They have to make their own lyrics up? Or?
Yeah. I mean, they're pretty much freestyling on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I guess it's supposed to be like some kind of like, I guess a song for your haters, perhaps.
Right.
Where I guess you're addressing your haters. Now, on that song, did you guys hear him call out certain artists? Kizz Daniel.
But I don't think he was.
I think I heard him say Don Baba J.
He said a lot of people. I don't think he was saying it as
an insult.
No,
because I
was
wasn't
saying
sure.
The girl was messing with all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, didn't you see the
That's what it was.
I saw the clip, but I didn't.
Challenge and his version, he was calling them out. Well, not calling them out, but saying like the girl. He was talking to a girl. Like
Kizz Daniel was talking to a girl.
Right, so it's the same.
Okay, well, let me play Tiwa Savage's on, and you guys can make of it what you think. I think he's taking some shots, or I think she's taking some shots, but some people think otherwise.
But boy, you no get shame. When we dey walk out to studio, you dey look for fame. Two can play that game. First time you go international, more for me Royal of Canada. Oh, Mr. Living da Loca. 50 bottles, you still there. Oh, RCC, uniform bush. See my melanin no report. Jetty, you got to be looking. My following, you don't run your mouth, no go. When the tables turn, it does hurt. Oh, fuck you too. Fuck you. Oh, she Mr. Bado. Desperado.
Yo, she was taking. Yo, she was spitting some bars in there though. I think that's still my favorite out of all the ones that I've heard. But she brought up Escape. She was like still owing bottles or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. So what was the exact line again, Wale?
Didn't you just play it?
I know, but I was vibing too much to the song to really listen to it. She was talking about you went on your first tour. I guess she was trying to say she sponsored the person. He's calling himself a baller or whatever, and he's still owing bottles at Escape. Basically, that's I'm transcribing here. That's not those aren't her exact words.
She's throwing shade too.
And
But
she's throwing shade at someone. But
she is.
We don't know.
The speculation is she's throwing shade at Wizkid and that they might
But-
have fallen out.
Even you guys, that's where.
Did you listen?
But then-
That's where you know people don't even listen to it.
Did you listen to the words?
Do you
The
know where it
word
started
says,
from? It started from this guy posting on his page, Tunde Ednut.
Right.
Tunde Ednut is known to not like Wizkid for
Right.
whatever reason it might be, and unfortunately, not liking Wizkid is actually one of the most horrible things you can do to yourself, because unlike Davido and the rest, he doesn't answer.
Right.
So you end up looking stupid. Like, see that podcast guy, like, he doesn't respond to it. He doesn't say anything. You know, the video will have already gone on Insta blog to either banned or something. So at least you get that satisfaction of.
Right.
So he does that a lot to Wiz, and Wiz doesn't answer him. Now, unfortunately, because it's a blog,
people
need to, and people need, no, people even need to. He needs Wizkid content on his blog, because you're gonna alienate the fans. So he's always any opportunity he gets to kind of try and make things look iffy. But here's where you can tell it's just pure he doesn't like him, because look at the lyrics. She says, "I took you on first tour." First of all, that already crosses out Wiz.
That's what I was gonna
If
say.
anything, Wiz is the one that has been taking her to places. Number one. Number two, she says you're living la vida loca. Who says that? It's Davido. That's the only person that said that in his songs. So even if we're saying she's talking about a mainstream artist,
She's not. Though.
she's not. That's why I don't think she is.
Right.
Because if everybody's saying it's all mainstream, it's even signs are pointing more towards Davido. But it's not him too. It's not Davido.
We know Wizkid has been accused of owning that
Yeah,
same
so
Escape
but that's the thing.
nightclub.
And then Tiwa is the wrong person.
Money for buying
Tiwa
bottles.
is the wrong person to ever come and throw shit at Wiz on a song, because of the year Tiwa had last year is solely because of. In fact, it started 2 years ago when she did that song they had together, the first song. I forgot the name, and it's solely because of this guy. So it's no matter what kind of breakup, quote unquote, they might have had, she's too grown.
She's not
to
gonna,
be
right, I was gonna
stupid.
say she wouldn't.
That's what I'm saying. To stoop down to that level to throw
It's
shit
just
at him.
speculation.
And
It's
then
just
you know, and then you
speculation.
see, so she, obviously, but there's obviously somebody she's now back
right.
to the.
I was gonna say maybe her husband.
That's
her
where
ex.
people said X.
That's
her
what I
ex.
was
People are
thinking.
saying, but the thing is,
not Wizkid.
I can't remember if he's an artist or something like that.
Well, he's a manager. He was her manager, right?
So she said to go on his first tour.
Right,
Yeah.
and Moro and also kind of that meaning I sponsored you to.
Yes,
so she
exactly,
can't
and that
sponsor
doesn't go to waste to
Wizkid,
count.
right,
Yeah, so but that's what I'm saying is that it's speculation. Now
People
back to
just
the
reaching.
to the Escape stuff. Wiz obviously, I'm not sure, but I think it's that same club, right? Where they said his bouncer was stabbed.
Yes.
The story was his bouncer was stabbed when he was trying to go pay or whatever not. Now the owner of Escape decides to come out and say, now that Tiwa has done her challenge, he's going to start dropping a list of people who owe his club.
Are you serious?
And
What's that guy's name again?
Richard or something.
Richard?
Now, there are two things to this for me. Personally, do I think he's going to drop the names? I don't think so. But he went on radio. He said he doesn't care about quote unquote burning bridges. That he's done with that lifestyle. But I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to get people to pay up.
Right.
I don't think, because I think what's going to eventually happen is that
He
he's
doesn't
going
wanna put their
to on
names
the
out.
day
Right.
he's going to
Puts their
claim
names out.
on the
They're
day
not
he's
paying
going to
up.
claim on the day he's going to claim they've paid.
Right.
That's why he's not going to put the list out. I can already tell. And then, it's two things come out of this. One, he would get his money back in a way.
But you're burning
But
bridges.
no, forget bridges. Two, he's more relevant now for whatever he has coming up.
True.
He's known in the industry, but you and I don't know.
I don't know who he
We've
is.
never,
Right.
we don't know who this guy is. We've never, by the way, Marshall just scored.
Good for you. Hold on.
well,
I'm about to play the
because
clip.
we're in debt of over 120 million, and this debtors include a range of artists, your biggest stars, people that you wouldn't believe owe. A lot of people, Big Brother housemates, even babes on this list, even some boys that if I catch, I go beat for streets. And they tell you, I'm not going to drop beating on. If this list don't make you drop this money, I go brush you anywhere where I see you. Yes, you go chop that brushing. I will seize your car and I'll fuck you up. Tonto, I'm sorry. You said I shouldn't do this, but you know what? Nobody's going to knock on my door now. My business is closed, and my staff can't feed their families and say, yo, Richard, I owe you 10 million. I owe you 5 million. Here's your money. No, they won't. And like Kizz Daniel said, it's fuck you season. It's time all of you go down. People need to know how you guys are fucking up people's businesses and carrying hand.
So
So I
back
guess
to
he went out of business because
So yeah, he
of
said his
debt.
restaurant and his thing went out of business because of debt, and he's racking up 120 million in debt. I don't know how you rack up that much, but he's according to him, he said somebody on there even has as high as 6 million that he acquired in 2 nights.
He needs to change his credit policy.
I think you're very stupid if you let someone rack up 6 million.
That's what I'm saying. He needs to change his
not in one night.
Policy.
Over 2 nights.
Crazy.
I believe this man has no one else to blame but himself. But I also believe
ultimately
he needs to get his money back, and I think he's tried other avenues. I do also believe he has something coming up that he wants his name to be attached to.
We're trending, right?
And also I'm pretty sure this is not attached to any A-list celebrity. I think this is for the average Joe. You know, there was a time banks were doing this thing where they published out a list of debtors in the newspaper.
They did?
They did one time in
Can you even do that? Oh, Nigeria.
You know why? Because that's the one thing that you can use to get Nigerians.
Yes.
Shame.
And it wasn't.
Shame them in public.
There wasn't. I don't think there was any like popular name on there. You know, the people who have more to lose. Wizkid doesn't have anything to lose with this, because you can come out and say, "Oh, Wizkid owes me 2-3 million." Everybody knows Wizkid is worth hundreds and hundreds of millions. It's the guy who's on IG talking about, I just bought my Gucci. It's like, imagine you see Hush Puppy's name on there. You know, those are the guys that people be like, Hush Puppy with all the, those are the people, but it's not Hush, but obviously, those are the people, the G boys, as they call them, Yahoo boys. Those are the boys he's trying to get. You know, because a lot of them are the ones who flaunt on social media.
Yeah.
You know, those are the ones who we want, the average Joes, you know, not the celebs. And when he did the interview, he was saying, he was trying to give some hints. He said there's one artist who's an artist and an actor, but it's not Faust.
So Banky W? Who else?
That's the only one I can think of.
He
said the guy, but I don't think it's Banky. He said the guy shot. Yeah, he said the guy shot a movie last week. Cause I don't follow Banky, so I don't know if it's him.
Hints.
But then he says there's a footballer, and the hints was going towards Obafemi Martins at first.
Oh,
then he said no,
Chief
it's not.
Daddy dude.
It's not.
Is he a football player?
Who's Chief Daddy?
That movie.
No.
No, he said there's an artist, there's an actor, and an artist that owes him money. Then there's one guy that owes all the clubs in Lagos. He's a football player. He wears
He's very
6
flashy.
gold chains. He's very flashy.
Who is he?
The only one everyone could think of was Obafemi Martins, but he said no.
Well, he said Obafemi
pays his debts. He said
Lannister always pays his debts.
Emenike was another
Shout out
name
GOT.
people threw out, and he said he's okay. I got that. I saw that stupid episode, but he mentioned, people mentioned Emenike's name. He said no, it's not him. So you know, I do believe this list will never come out, but you can only speculate.
Yeah.
Who else did he say? He said his good people are. Well, see, that's the thing. When what's his name? He was doing an interview with Dotun of Cool FM. Dotun was asking him questions, naming names, and like, you know, every name he brought up, like, no, that guy's a good guy. That guy's a good guy. So it makes me wonder who the hell is this on this list, you know? And the only name they didn't ask him, Dotun didn't ask him about 2 names. He didn't, and I noticed, and I'm sure he couldn't ask. Hold on, he didn't ask him about 2 names. One name he couldn't ask him about, and I know he couldn't ask him about is Olamide. And I don't think Olamide is on the list, but Dotun couldn't take that risk because he's Olamide's hype man.
Oh, he is.
He is. So there's no way he could ask him.
I think there's a little bit of cloud chasing.
And then the second name they didn't mention was Wizkid. And I think because that's going to fill this speculation.
Yeah.
The guy I said Davido is a good customer. His name dropped Davido a lot. His name dropped so it's like it's but personally,
who is it?
I think
He might be
it's
cloud chasing to an extent.
I think he said he claims he has gotten 4 million back so far.
Okay.
So
maybe it's working.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's that's why I say it's not celebrities have nothing to lose. Let's be honest. True. And then why are you letting Big Brother housemates owe you money? Those guys are broke.
Especially the ones that didn't
win. Even the one that won, that's the only source of income he has for a long time.
But speaking of artists that owed, speaking of artists that have club debt, Wizkid is headlining the Ends UK festival.
It's nothing new.
It's
day 2.
It will be the first time, at least in recent history, that a Afrobeat artist would headline a concert, at least in the UK.
Carnival-ish. Not a festival-ish kind of. Concert. I guess it's a concert.
I mean,
it's 3 days.
Oh, can you think of any? I think D'banj might have though.
No,
I'm surprised D'banj
so
did it in his prime.
D'banj got to Wireless Festival. D'banj got on the main stage. It's the most recent. So you know, when we talk about this thing, you know, I gave props when I said the video saying wants to sell out this thing. That this guy, first of all, you do know them. Lagbaja have done this before, but so when we say at first, because those guys were at a lot of festivals on the main stage. So I can't really, but in more recent probably say 2000s, the 2000s or
headlining
mid 2000s, yeah,
for a major festival.
The band got on the main. I think it was the first to get on the main stage of Wireless.
Oh, okay.
And then Wiz was next.
Okay.
And then the video was next after Wiz.
Okay.
It's always so funny. I was always like that. But
Yeah,
it was next, and I don't know if Burner might be next to get the Wireless one. But as far as headline, like Wiz is the main guy for day 2.
For the whole day.
For the whole day, he's they build up to him.
Yes.
This is the first time I can remember. Now, prove me wrong, you know.
The last time
in England, was, you know, not because there might be some
but
all these Caribbean festivals
the
like them,
UK.
Timaya, them they get to the video is out in one of these islands now, probably.
Yes.
So they might, but as far as the UK goes,
in the UK for a major festival, I think we always have to highlight these things when they happen, so that in case someone now comes and start calling an artist a new artist, you know. But
has it done it to the US?
So I think it's a big deal. I think someone actually looked into it, and the last time they had seen a Niger artist do anything at a festival this major was King Sunny Ade.
Yeah,
it was in like 1984.
That's how I figured. That's what I was always saying.
Yeah, it was in 1984. It was some reggae festival. It was a major festival back then. But then he wasn't the main head. Like I think all of them were all headliners.
Okay.
He wasn't the main.
There's like this one going on.
So
in,
that's a distinction
in
that
Portugal.
you have to put out there.
That has a lot of American artists, but it also has Wiz, Davido, Burna Boy, and I think it's like the same thing. They're kind of like part of the main lineup.
The main lineup, yeah.
It's in Portugal. I forgot what the show is called. What's happening? Speaking of which, Wiz is in Toronto doing his first tour in 7 years. Oh, yeah. And he announced a new song coming out with Drake.
Hopefully, is Drake gonna behave himself this time?
I wonder if he has an album coming out.
He said he has 2 albums worth of material. He took a 3-month break. He hasn't been on social media in 3 months.
Okay.
So he was like, he's taking a break. He took an album. Davido too has his album coming out. Davido was, I forget what island is on, but he was at the Buju Banton's festival thing, which is also big. You know, I don't think it was Jamaica.
What was Davido's last album? Was it Son of Mess? That was Son of Mess. Was that really? It was like an EP.
It was 4. That's his most trash body of work. I think they forced him to go outside of his lane, because that was when he now vexed and came back with all them If for Fire and all that stuff.
Burna Boy 2 recently
dropped. Bahamas, there you go.
Burna Boy 2 recently dropped a
4-track
EP or so.
There are
only like 2 songs I like on
Burna
there.
coming on. It's coming on Wednesday, so.
Yeah, you looking forward to that?
Man, I'm gonna have to find a way not to go to work on
happy
Thursday.
for your tickets.
I'm not going.
Come on, man.
I'm not.
Come on.
What is this? Peer
Who else?
pressure.
What's going on? But yeah, so Wiz has that. He's doing his tour in Toronto. Then he's coming to Broccoli Fest.
Yep.
I'll be there. Yeah, I'll be there.
Big things. What else is happening in Afrobeat? Chalk City recently signed a Warner Bros. Deal.
Really?
Hold on, no. Before we get to Chalk, let's finish with Davido too. Has some news. Oh, I did mention he has last time. I think we didn't record that. Where he has a supposedly mixtape with Tory Lanez. Coming out. He was in the studio with, I forget his name. It was so I've always this 2 genres I want them to mix is Afrobeat and the Latin music in terms of them.
All them Pitbull in them.
Yes, them Pitbull. Not only Pitbull, the ones the ones that are like on that Cardi song. What's their name?
Oh,
J Balvin.
J Balvin. Because when Wiz and J Balvin were on Metro's song on his album, that was actually fire. And the video is with one of their main guys too. He was in a studio recording. I think the language is because we're both melodic in terms of, so I think they can flow. So he has that, and then he was able to get Timbaland and Pharrell to come listen to his album.
I saw that.
Even though people were saying, "Oh, you have a song coming out," but he just said he got the album. It would be nice if he gets to produce. No, so not Pharrell. My bad. Why did I say Pharrell? Ludacris.
Oh.
It would be nice if he got a Timbaland produced.
Yeah.
1 or 2 beats. And Tory Lanez is trying to drop a mixtape, international something. Okay. And he was sampling Soko. He said he wants to sample all the biggest songs in the world outside of the US.
That's all Tory Lanez be doing.
But that's what
he's
he's good
hopping
at.
on everybody's shit.
That's what he's good at.
No, but Drake does the same thing.
I think Tory, Tory wants to be like Drake. But you know he wants to be like Drake. He wants to be like Drake. But Tory is somebody that I would look forward to him and a Davido mixtape.
Tory, I've always seen Tory Lanez as he's like Drake, but better rapping abilities, but not as good at song making.
He has better rapping than Drake.
Yeah, he's a better lyricist. I mean, you saw him. He went at a few rappers recently. Now, remember
That's up for
he
debate,
challenged
man.
a few people.
That's up for
Spitter.
Yeah, but
Spitters.
has Drake had to spit bars recently?
No, not
Exactly. Yeah, you have to look at the conditions.
Coming
for
from
that.
#1 Drake fan over here.
No, you just gotta look at
No,
the
but
conditions.
it's just
for
true.
that.
No, it's just
like,
true.
I know
Drake is a better song maker and a better hit maker.
when I respected.
But lyricist, Tory Lanez.
So you
can
look
spit.
at the content. Like I respected. I'm a big Rick Ross fan, and I respected when he hopped on that P Square song, "Beautiful in Your Ear."
Oh yeah,
because
that was good.
his bars were so simplified and straight to the point. Because on that kind of track, you can't be spitting bars.
Yeah, kind
The
of
same way you have this guy that did Bad Energy with Wizkid. What's his name? Skepta.
The UK guy.
Skepta cannot be going in on that kind of song. Do you understand? So people are like, oh, he's whack. But no, because he knows the people going to listen to this thing. Are you going to be dropping bars that will be flying over people's head on a feel good music? So Drake hasn't had to make it. Tory was out there trying to prove a point.
Yeah.
Drake has at the lane where unfortunately he doesn't have
I'm just
to.
saying as a lyricist.
I don't think
as a
Tory is better,
lyricist,
man.
As a
but
lyricist.
they will say he writes
As a
ghostwriters,
lyricist.
man. I don't know, man.
Tory's it, man. But Chalk City, Warner Bros. deal.
Yeah,
Wale, can you shed some light on
I
that?
haven't followed it. I don't know, man. It's good. It's good. It's good
So
for the culture.
is it a distribution deal?
I don't know yet. I haven't looked into it.
Is it even real? Are we even sure?
I saw the thing, and then I saw a picture of Femi Kuti in it, and I don't think Femi Kuti signed to Chalk City, so I guess I don't know why they use this picture in the headline. I
That'll be
saw it on
interesting.
Twitter, but
we were chatting about it, and Wale doesn't think MI hasn't
shown
to carry that.
So
kind of,
I gave my dissertation, description or whatever of Don Jazzy when I said
Your
he's
analysis.
falling, and my analysis when he's falling as a producer because he's
does the same
he's
sound,
changed no
yeah.
he's changed to a different role where he's now he was a CEO before his record label still active. No, what was it? They signed a deal too with somebody.
More hits.
No, Maven signed a deal too. They signed an international deal too. But
I just hope they're not jerking these artists.
But anyways,
man. That's all I'm hoping
what I'm trying
for.
to say is he's when he changed from being to more of the business
like a
guy.
CEO, yeah.
He dropped in quality of beat. I don't even think he produces that many beats anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with MI. Chocolate City, the Audu was like the guy, and all the other, they were doing well as they were on fire when they had MI was in prime. Jesse Jags was nice. Ice Prince, like Chalk City Boys. They used to have their Chocolate Boys or Chalk City mixtapes or whatever. They had Brimo at his peak. They had all this other guys too on the side, and they were doing very well. The guy that Genie that sang Ego, I think was signed under them too at some point.
Yeah.
But then for whatever reason, I think Audu stepped aside and made MI the president, and I think he made Ice Prince the vice president. I don't even think Ice Prince is still signed to the label. I'm not sure. But since MI became the president, the output of music
Isn't that
and
it?
Chuck's the name is not.
MI oversaw with first Brimo album though. That was under MI.
No, it wasn't the first Brimo album. No, it was when MI became president that Brimo had the issues. Brimo left. His own brother Jesse Jags left, which Jesse Jags left, came back.
But then
I think left
then
again.
MI was always in leadership. Though. I think
MI was always because
in
it was like
leadership.
their primetime artist. He was
Yeah.
like the one who was bringing them the bread. It's kind of like you have a Davido as a DMW, but the difference is that imagine if DMW was actually owned by somebody else. So he was their top dog, but they gave him the presidency and Ice was the VP.
Yeah.
And even that other podcast that had that Wizkid stuff, they did have that guy is just disrespectful, but he did have a thing where they have Loose Cannon. He brought MI and Loose Cannon on board.
Cannon.
And he was just being disrespectful to them, talking about, the artists are shit. They don't have, when's the last thing hit that came out? But they have Coker. One guy called Coker that had this, if you do something.
Yeah.
But what he's trying to say in better terms is they haven't, I haven't seen a Chuck City artist as number one on the chart in years.
Yeah, I think here's my own analysis. My thing is I think Chalk City went in the direction where they were trying to place an emphasis on spitters, maybe to an extent. Like they tried to do the whole singing thing too. And even MI he's also gone into that singing world too. He sings a little bit too. He does some melodic stuff. But I think for the most part, their talent really, the talent that they had was spitters. You know, back when Prince used to spit, Loose Cannon was on there. Even Jesse Jaggs, even though he sang, he was also like a spitter. Like he was like an MC.
But it worked
and
for
they had
them.
a bunch of other MCs. And I think what happened was in Niger, people just weren't really. I mean,
no, but you can't say that.
They weren't really
feeling. But that's the
really,
thing. MI changed the direction. Okay,
he did.
Not
he
MI.
did.
The first person to change the direction was the Green.
Yes.
Who came with this? Rap.
Yes.
Ish that we can feel.
Yes.
Then MI first talk about it.
Yes.
It's a classic.
Yep.
You know, that album is a classic. Like, even the freestyle that became a song, everything is a classic on that album. And MI was able to it was the one that had the blend. Like, imagine songs like African Rapper #1 with Flavor. Like, he had the blend. You know, he had Ice Prince came out with See Oleku. Oleku was a hit. Do you understand? And that was a rapper and a singer, you know, like, so they had Jesse Jaggs was respected. They had a formula that worked, and I don't know why they went away from. Maybe the times changed from it.
Times just changed. I think people just had a bigger focus on melodic songs, and I mean, I'm sure there's still a market there, but it's just not as big as we thought it was. And you know, at the club, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, people just want to dance. It's very Niger.
People just want to dance.
They want to get. But I like that you brought up that MI track, because that was a classic. The one Why Me? Well, I think it was Safe. Well, do you remember
Safe.
Why
you know,
me?
Get us to the Do Me. He was using everybody's song.
Oh, that
song was. He said
hot,
they said it was a freestyle. He just went.
It was a freestyle.
He went into the studio and he started that it was like 20 minutes long or something like that, and then decided, I don't know how long, but it was long. Decided to cut it down to a 4 to 5 minute long track. You know, but that was MI at his best, and you know, MI has focused on that's it. Okay. They call me MI. Just because I'm getting higher, I'm spitting fire.
This written fire, there's no bullshit, and I'm sitting on top. I just rap Messiah. I kill them, mama, them papa. Bring drama and proper income. This rapper showstopper, he's top shot. No other rap, man, a brethren. Hear the words he's uttering, cause other rappers uttering. I rhyme, I'm well. I'm not them, I'm not chill. I got skill, the most incredible. Out of Niger, from Niger, I got street credibility.
Yo, when this track came out, my sister knew the rap. If my sister knows a rap, yo, he killed it with that one.
Loved by your sister.
Yeah, but MI2 is one of those legends.
It was not like
go down as a legend.
It was like a brand new experience, like Vista.
Like Vista.
That's when Windows Vista came out. They going local, cash like a. That was
people knew the lyrics.
Yeah. And then Genie was the guy who sang
the Genie.
Yeah, the Genie. Yeah. It's one that sang Ego. If you help me see Ego, make you tell him. Yeah, that was him back then. So, you know, MI found a way to break into the market with his
you know, he started out here now.
He started here,
He used to freestyle here. Yeah. Oh. But then I heard some gist about how we wound up in Nigeria, but I'm not gonna put that out there.
But it started out here.
But yeah, man. MI is a legend in his own right, man. And I mean,
he still does.
I'm hoping for the best for Talk City.
He claims like he wants to claim his stance as the best rapper, you know, and that's why he came out with like the Fix Up Your Life thing, like where it was like, you rappers should fix up your life, you know, you're being bodied by the South, you know, which is South Africa, because South Africa runs the rap scene in Africa now.
They have a big rap,
but he feels, you know, no, we should, and unfortunately,
who knows, he might come back.
Oh, I doubt it.
He might come back.
I doubt it is, because for him, he was one of a kind. He was able to make it work, make money from it. Yeah. No rapper is really making money in Nigeria. Like, once they switch into that Afrobeat scene, they're just like, whoa, see money. Just that. It's very hard for you to. South Africa has that culture. Casper Nyovest is selling out 20,000 stadium. He's performing before Beyonce and Jay-Z. You understand? Like, and
he raps.
And he sells, like, he did almost as, like, the crowd responded to him, if not better. I'm not even lying, than when they responded to Jay and Beyonce on the
I mean, well, he's from
there, but that's how much. But a Nigerian rapper right now, I don't know any that
they've taken hip hop seriously. They have a lane for hip hop in that.
The rappers
country.
we have select fan base. So Nigerian music is created into loopholes. Like you have, little fan bases.
Yeah.
The general is Afrobeat of the, but then you have like the Alte people. You know, you have them Santi, you have them Dio, you have them. All of them, they Odunsi, they have their fan base, which is this younger, outside of the box thinking people. So they would do their little festivals where they have like maybe 2,000 people show up, which is a good number for people like that. But they're not headlining any
caliber.
They're not headlining any, selling out any Eco Hotel right now. Do you understand? And that's because the mainstream wants to hear. But in South Africa, the rappers are the ones selling out.
Yeah, they're running things.
You know,
they're running things. But it's been a while since we had like a in-depth, music industry conversation like that. It's been a while. But yeah. Moving on to, we're still on topic of music. Did you guys hear about Cardi's latest rant?
Yeah, I did.